Come on, you're my girl.
Hey, this is John Brooks. We've been at this for the better part of 30 years with the popcorn and the fudge. It's been a lot of fun. We do fairs and festivals, craft shows, car shows, or a kite show.
So you said you've been doing these cross fairs around town for 30 plus years. How many fairs, or would you say, that have been, like different fairs?
Up until the COVID hit and screwed things up rather dramatically,
Yes.
we were doing about 30 shows a year.
30 shows? Wow.
We did, in the year 2000, we did as many as 90 shows.
Oh, wow.
But that required hiring a lot of help and chasing around a lot more than I feel like doing anymore. So now we probably do 10 or 12.
That's fair. Of all the fairs you do, what one would you say is your favorite, if you have one?
Well, the easiest one is the one that's right here on my own property. But the more profitable ones are the ones like, the Asparagus Festival in West Brookfield is a real fun show. And the Shepherd Hill High School is a good show. And the show at Narragansett in November is also a very good show.
My name's Diane Haley.
All right, and what do you have for us here?
I'm selling glitter tattoos.
Okay.
So I have a small and a medium to basically show one part of the business that we offer.
Okay.
We're Prettiest Princess Parties LLC. So we do birthday parties for children. We're a brand new business. So for a simple birthday party, we're looking at $350, and that includes a lengthy list of stuff. And then I've got an extravagant birthday party package, which is the mid-tier, and then an elegant party package, which is the high-end.
Gotcha.
And it offers numerous different things included in those packages.
So what made you decide to come to this fair in particular?
Well, I've been wanting to attend this fair now for a while, so I thought this would be a great year to start.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so of all the tattoos that you have here, which one do you think is the most popular one?
I would say the unicorn.
That makes sense. What made you decide to go into this business in particular?
I love to dress up as princess and interact with children at Halloween, giving them candy, so I thought, why not spread princess stuff to little girls?
That's great. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
So we have a lot of kites and kite accessories. Kites were used by the meteorologists at Blue Hill in the 1890s through the 1930s to study the weather at higher altitudes. And we are now perpetuating that kite history by bringing kites to this event and other kite events all over New England.
That's great. So, looks like you have a bunch of different assorted kites here. How expensive is it to get all these together in the first place?
So we have a large assortment, so there's a few $100s worth of kites here, maybe 1,000 total. We have kites that cost as little as $3 each to kites that cost over $100, so that we can satisfy all ranges of enthusiasts from novice through expert.
That's great. So of all the kites that are here, what one would you say is the hot seller, like the best one that you've sold so far? Like one
So probably our 52-inch Delta is the most popular. That's this one right over here. We got a bunch of different pictures. And because of its triangular shape, it goes up in light wind. People like the different characters, whether it's Paw Patrol or Ryan's World. So these have been very popular today. They're only $5, so it's a very good value. And they'll fly in the light wind that we have today, but they can handle heavy wind for another day also.
Great. So you mentioned that you also have kite accessories. For those of us who probably aren't as well established in kites, could you please explain what each one does for us?
So, for example, this is a kite winder called the Quick Retrieve. Has a special loose handle here so it quickly winds in and out. Specifically made for light pulling kites like the 52-inch Delta or a 42-inch Delta, but it's a little bit easier to wind than the regular handle that the kite comes with. And then we have bigger spools for bigger kites. This works like this. The wood is nice and comfortable to hold, and this is a much stronger line. This is 80-pound tensile strength line for a kite like a 7-foot or larger delta kite or a 8-square-foot parafoil kite, something like that. So the bigger line for the bigger kites, and then if you really want to get fancy, we have winders like this, which have this amazing leverage for winding in and out. And I fly this style with line as heavy as 500-pound tensile strength.
Oh wow, that's
this currently has 170-pound tensile strength on it. So lots of different types of winders depending on the size and style of kite and size and style of person. A little child couldn't use this because they would pop themselves in the chin. So different styles for all levels, from expert kite flyer to novice kite flyer.
So I'm assuming that depending on the strength of wind, there's going to be different kites for different wind strengths, correct?
Yes, so some kites are specifically made for light to moderate winds. Other kites are made for moderate to heavy winds. Some kites are exclusively moderate wind. We have what are called ultralight kites that are made for really light wind, 5 miles per hour and less. And so there's quite an assortment.
So in your professional opinion, what would be the best kite to get for a day like today?
The low wind kites like the deltas, whether it's the 42-inch delta or preferably the 52-inch delta, because the 52-inch is bigger. It has more sail area, so it can catch more air. And the bigger you go, the better. We have an 11-foot delta if you really want to go big. Some of the kites that are in the sky,
Yes.
There's an 11-foot delta up there right now. In fact, at the moment, that's the only kite that's in the sky is an 11-foot delta.
So I know it's still early in the event today, so you probably haven't seen too many kites out there. What has been the best kite you've seen out there so far, either this year or from any other past one?
Sure. So the one that attracted the most attention, that several people asked me, do you have that, is a kite called a trilobite. It's made in China. It inflates with the wind, and it looks just like the prehistoric animal, a trilobite. And so that drew a lot of attention. That's probably the most exciting one, with the 11-foot delta being the second most popular because it's been up for several hours already.
So just because it caught my attention over here, could you explain what the Skycopter is, please?
So, knowing that we might not have a lot of wind, I brought a couple different toys that can work when there's no wind. And so the way this works is it's rubber band powered. It has a helicopter blade. You twist it up, and then as the rubber band untwists, it makes the helicopter fly.
See.
And then the aerocopter here, just like its name, it shoots up into the air like an arrow, and it comes down like a helicopter. This goes here, this goes here. This goes here. Up like an arrow, down like a helicopter.
Interesting. I think I caught it.
The observatory focuses on meteorology, atmospheric science, both climate study and weather study. We've been doing it every single day since February 1st, 1885. We have glass thermometers that are designed, built, and calibrated exactly the same as the ones from the 1880s. We have mercury barometers that are actually built in the 1880s that we still use today.
Oh, wow.
We have wind instruments that are designed, built, and calibrated just like the ones from the 1880s. So we have all this long-term homogeneous data, which has designated us as a centennial station by the World Meteorological Organization. And we are also known as a benchmark climate station. And so scientists of all levels use our data, whether they're studying climate, hydrology, meteorologists making the forecast for the next few days. They all want to know what we are recording because it helps them to do their work.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, obviously, COVID affected basically every business in the world. How has it affected Blue Hill?
So we used to do a lot of educational school field trips where they would come and visit the observatory, and obviously COVID stopped those in-person visits.
Right.
We're also under a major renovation project, so we can't even welcome people to the building at this time. We still are welcome to the top of the hill. We do walk-around hikes of the observatory. But the impact on our regular visitation to the observatory for educational and recreational purposes did drop.
That's unfortunate because it is very interesting science, admittedly.
One of the good things about COVID was, like many places, we developed online programming, and that was something we really had done very little of prior to COVID. And then we did a lot of it, especially during the height of COVID when the building was totally closed to the public. And so there are some benefits of COVID regarding our changes that we had to do because of it.
Right. And so it looks like you have both bubbles and animal balloons here.
We do.
Face painting.
Yeah, face painting. So how long have you been doing this type of work?
This is our 8th year doing the Kite Fest.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
And Jesse's been doing face painting for
A while.
quite a while, quite a few years. And I just started the balloons within the past 6 months.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So how does the heat factor into everything here?
It's rather hot, rather sticky.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you just kind of work with it, stay in the shade as much as you can, and have fun.
The balloons are not happy with the heat and the sun.
that makes absolute
they
sense.
keep popping, but hey, they're balloons.
So walk me through how the bubbles actually work. Like, I'm very used to them just being the tiny little thing on the stick.
Yeah.
No, those are our big bubbles.
Yep, these are called giant bubbles.
Giant bubbles.
And as you can see, she has a wand, and the wand is made out of bamboo sticks. And actually, the twine that's on the wand is from a mop.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah. It's all cotton, so it absorbs the
Bubble mixture.
so that when you pick it up, it kind of stays on it.
Yes.
And that's why we can get the giant bubbles. But it's a secret mixture for the bubbles.
And we go through about 10 to 14 gallons of bubble mix during our Kite Fest.
Kids love it. The adults love it.
I think the adults love it more than the kids do. But
I mean, they got to keep that kid. They got to let that kid out.
That's
sometimes.
right. Exactly right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's been some pretty long ones. I mean, by the time they take off,
Yes.
Yeah, it's like a tunnel.
yeah,
Yeah.
6, 8, 10 feet, some of them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they work really well.
He won't hurt when I fall down from this bar stool. He won't hurt when I stumble